So, what is the Westgate? Once part of Winchester's defensive walls dating from the 1200s, all traffic had to enter and leave through the fortified Westgate Arch, which was the western entrance to the city that followed the Roman route from Salisbury. To get to it, walk up Winchester High Street from the 15th century Buttercross. You will see a well-known Victorian clock above a building that currently houses Lloyd's Bank. This building was originally the town hall. If you look up, you may notice a bell tower with a ball on the top. This houses the curfew bell, which is still rung at 8 o'clock every evening, well, at least when it's working. The reason for this curfew isn't to stop people from being outside. Rather, it was introduced following the Great Fire of London in 1666 as a measure to prevent further disastrous fires. The word originated from the French couvert, to cover, and feu, fire, meaning to put out anything burning. Anyway, back to the Westgate story. Carry on up the hill, past the traffic lights, and you will now be at the fortified gateway, which is the Westgate. A photo taken around 1900 still shows the Plume of Feathers pub attached. Originally named the Fighting Cocks, it was demolished in 1940 and the traffic diverted around the side of the Westgate in 1959. A Grade 1 listed building, the Westgate has been altered many times over the centuries, including the provision of a portcullis, gun ports, and at the top, machicolations. These are the 5 openings at the top that span the width of the gate, where various objects could be dropped, such as rocks, boiling oil, or water poured onto anybody who tried to force their way in. The shields with lions, lion and harp is the coat of arms of the United Kingdom, denoting England, Scotland and Ireland. There are 2 shields displayed above the gate. The City of Winchester shield shows 2 lions with 5 castles, and the earliest example in the city is in a late 15th century window in the Westgate. It is thought that the 5 castle refer to the main city gates, which was Northgate, Southgate, Eastgate, Westgate and Kingsgate. Only Kingsgate and the Westgate remain, the others being demolished between 1768 and 1771. The small timber door entrance is at the side of the building, around the corner by the 1859 drinking fountain. Unfortunately, the museum is not wheelchair accessible due to the steep staircases, and there are no toilets inside. The Westgate was a debtor's prison for 150 years before being converted into a museum in 1898 and has been much updated. The museum explains the history of the building as well as Tudor and Stuart era Winchester. As well as the interesting exhibits in the museum, the interior walls and floor still shows much of the interesting graffiti carved into the walls and the floor by prisoners, with one, at least, dating from 1597. It is these carvings that this video is concentrating on. Remember to climb the narrow stairs onto the roof, where there are fine views down Winchester High Street all the way across to St Giles Hill. In the description below, I have put a link into the report by Claire Woodhead, Principal Conservator at Hampshire Cultural Trust, that is named A Special Class of Prisoner, Graffiti at Winchester's Westgate. For now, let's have a look at some of the messages and names that have been added by various occupants over the years.